How's it going, everybody? My name is Salty and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 5 weapons to use here in the Modern Warfare 2 beta. So we only had access to a few weapons during the last weekend's beta, and I'm sure some of you actually ended up seeing my top 3 weapons. This list is going to drastically change. I found some weapons that are absolutely busted. So we're just going to jump over into that and the class setups for them. Starting at number 5, we have the Lochman 556. So I got given a class setup on Twitter. I was told to use it. They said this thing feels like the Krig 6 from Black Ops Cold War, has little to no recoil, very good at medium and long range. So that's what basically this build is covering. The movement isn't great, but it is definitely a weapon for slower paced players. Definitely a good weapon for picking some people off of head glitches and some longer range engagements. So we're going to start here in the barrel where I have the 15.9-inch Lochman ratt barrel. This gives us bullet velocity, recoil control, damage range, and hip fire accuracy. You can see in the negatives, like I said, you are losing movement speeds. But that being said, this build is not meant for movement. It's meant for low recoil, longer distance engagements, and that's what all the positives give us there. For the muzzle, we have the Forged Tack Castle Compensator for horizontal and vertical recoil control. And then for the underbarrel, the Pineapple Vert Grip for hip fire accuracy, gun kick control, hip fire recoil control, and then aim walking steadiness. What this does is it controls the original gun kick of the weapon. Unlike other Call of Duties, this game has an original gun just pop and kick that shoots straight up. This does a better job at controlling that. We're skipping over the ammunition and magazine and the rear grip, going to the stock where we have the LMS Factory G79 stock for aiming stability and recoil control. You can see there in the negatives again, you are losing a lot of movement, but I'm not going to repeat myself. Obviously, you don't really need to hear me say it again. It is not built for movement. And I personally like to use an optic where I have the Cronin Mini Red Dot. This is an attachment that can be swapped out. Let's say you want to use a rear grip or an ammunition option. If you like those iron sights, you can feel free to do so. Personally, I do like running the red dot sight. Let's slide over to number 4. So at number 4, I have the FSS Hurricane. This gun, in my opinion, is one of those SMGs that is fairly decent at close range, but what really puts it over the top is its ability to take more than just close range engagements. It also can take some medium range engagements. Once you get into the long range, the damage range drop off is quite extreme. But with that being said, I really enjoy this setup, and I think you should definitely give it a go. We're going to start here with the 4 milliwatt laser. This is an attachment that possibly could be changed out. Later on in the future, if there's like an ammunition that could be a better option, or even like a muzzle, that could possibly be the choice. But for now, I did stick with that laser sight just because there was really nothing there that I feel like I needed to run in the muzzle category. For the barrel, the FSS Cannondale or Cannonade 16-inch barrel. This gives us damage range, hip fire accuracy, and bullet velocity. You can see we are sacrificing some of the movement speeds, but they will be made up for in just a moment. I'll explain how. But you do need some added damage range. Like I said, this gun has the capabilities of taking medium range engagements. So that being said, you definitely need to add a little bit there. Getting down to the underbarrel, I have the Pineapple Vert Grip for the same reason as the Lochman 556, that original gun kick control. And of course, the aim walking steadiness, hip recoil control, and hip fire accuracy. Over to the Extend Grip where we have sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. That's to make up for the barrel. And that is also included here with the stock with the Demo Quicksilver stock. That gives us sprint speed, aim walking speed, crouch movement speed, and aim down sight speed. So it definitely makes up for all that was lost there with the barrel. This is one of my favorite weapons to use here in the game. Do I think it's the best? No, but that being said, if you're an extremely aggressive player, you're gonna have a ton of fun using this one. All right, so we're over at number 3 where I have the Lochman Sub, aka the MP5. The MP5 is as good as ever. My class setup is a little different than some other people's you may have seen. A lot of people are running the no stock attachment and a little bit of a different barrel. I'm not a huge fan of that, to be 100% honest with you. I think my class setup seems to feel a little better to me, and I think you may like it as well, so make sure you give this one a go. We're going to go with the L38 Falcon 226mm barrel. This gives us aim down sight speed and movement speed. What I see a lot of people running is this FTAC M Sub 12-inch. You get damage range, bullet velocity, the whole shebang. But that being said, it's an SMG, and it's a fast-firing SMG at that. So why would you need to really rage all those bullet velocity, damage range? You're not really going to be taking a medium range or long range gunfight. So I just don't really see the need to be running that. Obviously, there are some cases where you will be shooting that far, but it's not really as often as you'd think. And I just don't think it's a necessary attachment. I think that movement speed and aim down sight speed is one of those that definitely will help your cause. So we're going over to the muzzle where I have the Lockshot KT85 for horizontal and vertical recoil control. Pretty simple there. You do need to limit the recoil. Now we're getting down to the underbarrel. Pineapple vert grip. I think this is going to be a meta attachment, kind of like the Commando foregrip was in Modern Warfare 2019, and the Field Agent grip was in Black Ops Cold War, and the M1941 hand stop in Vanguard. It just seems like this is the underbarrel that everybody's going to be using. Of course, we don't know what the other grips are looking like, but this one seems to have a lot of positive to it with that gun kick control. So a lot of people don't like to run a magazine. Personally, I am a fan. This is one that can be changed out though. When I'm playing aggressive with a weapon like the MP5, I'm up close and personal. I like to have a lot of bullets. You never know if there's going to be 3 or 4 enemies constantly running through a doorway and you're having to take all of them on one after another. If you have 30 bullets, there's a chance you don't have enough ammunition for all those gunfights. That's personally why I like to add a little bit while I'm playing aggressive. And finishing us off here with the LM Cronus grip for the rear grip for overall flinch resistance, meaning your gun is not going to flinch up in the air while being shot at. We're going to slide over to number 2. At number 2, I have my zero recoil M4 class setup. The M4, just like in Modern Warfare 2019, is probably going to be a meta here. It's an all reliable type weapon. It's one of those that you really can't go wrong with, especially when you build it the right way. This thing has little to no recoil. I put a gameplay out on it yesterday, and I've had a ton of fun using this thing. It does the job at medium and long range. At close range, it has the fire rate to keep up. Keep in mind, though, the movement speed is a little rough on this one. It's kind of like the Lochman build that I just showed you. So we're going to start here with the Tempest High Tower 20-inch barrel. Bullet velocity, damage range, hipfire accuracy, and recoil control. It's a zero recoil build, so we need those recoil attachments. And on top of that, when you have a low recoil weapon, you want to be taking gunfights at longer ranges. Makes sense, right? That's why that barrel just kind of fits the build perfectly. For the muzzle, the Forged Tack Castle Compensator for vertical, horizontal recoil control. Well, that being said, low recoil build, need recoil attachments. The VX Pineapple Vert grip once again for that original gun kick control. Over to the rear grip where I have the Seiken ZX grip for once again recoil control. This is one that can be swapped out. It will affect your recoil a bit, but if you want some sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, the Phantom, the X10, even the support CP90 grip here is a good option. This is one that can definitely be played around with if you so please. But finishing us off with the Corio Perseo factory stock. Aiming stability and recoil control. This is basically the same build as that Lochman 5.56, but in my opinion, this weapon's better. It just seems to hit a little harder, especially at longer ranges, and the recoil is just, if you watch my M4 gameplay, it's going to speak for itself. This thing is absolutely nuts. We're going to get over to number 1. Some of you are going to be extremely surprised because you haven't had a chance to use it yet. So at number 1, we have the TAC 56, aka the Scar. This thing is outright ridiculous. It has the fastest aim down sight speed in the game. I am convinced of that. The stray speeds feel absolutely awesome. The recoil is very manageable and it hits at distance. This thing is just an all-around beast at all ranges. It has the power to compete at close range. I have a gameplay coming out with this thing very soon. I highly recommend you watch it. Unfortunately, I can't give you the attachments for it. This is just the blueprint you get for reaching level 30 in the beta. I go to my gunsmith here, you can see I can't actually access any of the attachments. I can't go to progression and I can't go to build weapon. I can only go to customize, but that's basically it for this video. I'm telling you, once you get to level 30, put on this blueprint. It's an absolute banger. If you guys made it to this point in the video, I want you to go down in the comment section and spam top 5. That way I know you made it all the way to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you guys in the next one.